Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today we're gonna be doing something super fun and it's gonna be a baking video. I recently got into baking and I found a really good recipe for a pineapple upside down cake. So we're gonna go to the grocery store, get some ingredients, and we're gonna bake a cake. If you guys are interested in watching me bake today, then please keep watching. Let's go. Do you see how hot it is? Oh my god. It's literally blazing in my car. We're at a grocery store. I don't know which one I want to go to yet. I think I'll go to the one that's like in the city where the older people live, because then there's like less people there. Here, let's go. I don't know how I'm wearing a sweater right now. It's really freaking hot. Honestly, the older people might stare, but it's fine. I have most of the ingredients except for like canned pineapples. It's right here. I have a few options. I'm gonna do these pineapple slices. Right, so all I needed to buy was a 20-ounce can of pineapple rings, and I want to get some brownies. I don't like to make brownies from scratch. I think I'm gonna do some Ghirardelli ones I really liked. The ones that I had last time, I think I got the double chocolate. Yeah, we'll do this one right here.
If you have your club card, please scan it now. If you have your club card, please scan it now.
Alright, we're back home now and we're gonna go over the ingredient list so you guys can know what you're gonna need to bake this cake. Alright, so the first ingredient is gonna be butter. You're gonna need 2 half cups of butter. You're also gonna need some brown sugar, some granulated sugar, some regular white sugar, and then I have some more flour, but you're gonna need some flour, and this is all-purpose flour. You're also gonna need a 20-ounce can of pineapple rings in pineapple juice, some maraschino cherries, some baking powder, and the recipe calls for almond extract, but I'm gonna go ahead and use some vanilla extract instead, and I'm gonna use some whole milk. And then you're also gonna need a little bit of salt. So the first step is gonna be to melt a half cup of butter in a pot. I told you guys to ask me some questions on my Instagram story. That way I can, you know, answer the questions while I bake, and we're gonna do that. So we're gonna do a stick of butter in the pan, and this is a half cup. So once that is melted, you're gonna want to bring the butter to a boil, and you can add in your cup of brown sugar, and then you're gonna want to keep mixing this until it is nice and combined. So now that I have that mixture, I'm just gonna pour it into my cake pan and spread it evenly across the bottom, and this is gonna make like a little glaze for the top of the cake once it's baked, and it's super yummy because it's melted brown sugar. So I'm just gonna spread it evenly. I'm gonna make sure this covers the whole bottom layer very evenly. The next step is going to be placing the pineapples. All right, so one of the questions is, what Netflix shows do I recommend besides Vampire Diaries? If you guys know, I love Vampire Diaries and it's like one of my favorite series ever, and I like to binge watch quite a few shows. I feel like I'd rather watch a comfort show than I would watch like a new movie. So yeah, honestly just love watching TV shows that I've, you know, known forever. Some of the TV shows that I like to watch are The Walking Dead. I like to watch Grey's Anatomy. I like the show Never Have I Ever. I like Narcos. I like the originals. Narcos Mexico, by the way. Okay, so we got the pineapples, and you're just gonna place the rings into the pan evenly, as many as, you know, will fit. And I'm just gonna start in the middle, and I'm just gonna fill the bottom of the pan with pineapples. Another question that I got, which I seem to get this question a lot, is what am I studying in college? And I feel like some people know, some people don't. So I'm a nursing major currently, and I'm hoping to get my BSN and, you know, be a little nurse when I graduate. So I'm really excited for that. Let's see, I may have to redistribute these. This is my last ring. What do? I don't like the fact that it's not like even on both sides. Okay, so we have the pineapples placed in the pan. Here they are, looking all nice and even, and you're gonna want to reserve this juice for later in the recipe. Just, we're gonna need it, so put this aside and let's move on. All right, next step is going to be to put maraschino cherries in the little holes of all these pineapples, and I just like to, you know, kind of go in there and do it. This is so cute because it gives the cake some color, and it actually is really good when you're eating the cake. It adds a lot of flavors. Another question I got was if I regret getting like clout, I guess, so young on social media. I remember I was like 13 when I started my Instagram page, so I feel like I don't regret it, but it was a learning experience for sure. I had to, like, you know, realize what was okay and what was not okay from a young age. I kind of grew up online. This fucking cherry doesn't want to come out, but I don't regret it because I've met a lot of loyal people, virtually anyway, and I have a really good friendship, I feel like, with most of my followers who have been following me for a long time. So yeah, I definitely don't regret it. All right, now that we have the cherries placed, I'm gonna wash my hands really quick because this is kind of messy, and we're gonna go on to the next step. All right, now you're gonna want to set aside this dish, and I'm just gonna put it out of the way so that way out of the way, and we're gonna come back to this later. Next, you're gonna want to grab a mixing bowl so we can mix all of our dry ingredients, and in this bowl we're gonna mix together the flour, the baking powder, and the salt. We're gonna need 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of table salt. This is a half cup. This is the only thing that fits into my containers. And with flour, you don't want to pack flour, it's a little bit denser, so you'll get a more accurate measurement if you go in there and you fluff it up, and then you just kind of fill it and make it flat on the top, and that's about a half cup of flour. We're gonna need 4 of these, and then the last half cup. Then you do 2 teaspoons of baking powder. You want to make sure that you're using baking powder, not baking soda. It's different. I don't know what the difference is, but there's a difference. Someone asked if I could go back to high school, would I do anything differently? That's crazy, because if I had the choice, I would have not done online school for any of my high school, really, but I didn't really have a choice. So I feel like if I could change anything, it would be the fact that the pandemic happened in the middle of my junior year, which sucks. Yeah, that, and I was kind of lazy freshman year, which affected my GPA. So yeah, that's something else I would change, but I feel like that's pretty much it. And I had to make more friends because I didn't really have many friends. And then you're gonna do 1 teaspoon of table salt. All right, and you're just gonna whisk these together and combine them. You don't really have to do too much to this right now because we're gonna add in the wet ingredients later. So now we're gonna get another mixing bowl, and in this one we are going to beat the softened butter. You wanna make sure it's softened and not melted, not hard, you want it softened. The sugar, which includes both the white and brown sugar, and then you're gonna beat in the eggs once it's, you know, kind of already combined. So we have the softened butter. This actually needs to soften a bit more, so I think I'm gonna throw it into the microwave for literally like 10 seconds. Yeah, you don't want this melted, you just want it soft, so that way you're not struggling to beat it in the bowl. So I did it for 8 seconds and it was perfect, so I'm just gonna add that into the bowl, and then we're gonna add in our sugar, and you're gonna want a half cup of sugar, and then you're gonna do a half cup of brown sugar. So I did a half cup of white sugar, a half cup of brown sugar, and now we're gonna beat that together. Another question I got was if I could pick 3 drinks to drink for the rest of my life, what would they be? Caitlin, that's tough, bro. Why would you ask me that? I think there would have to be water for sure, Dr. Pepper, and I think green tea, like sweetened green tea. Ooh, so bomb. Now that this is nice and well combined, we're gonna add our eggs to it as we're beating this together. It's kind of difficult, so I'm just gonna do it. So we have our little huevitos, and I'm just gonna pick out 2 eggs. We have our eggs, and we're gonna crack these into the bowl. I wanna see if I could do it with one hand. Period. Then we have the other egg. Wash your hands, and now you want to beat that together. There was like a chunk of brown sugar in my mix. Hi. Alright, so we have our dry mixture, and I'm just gonna add this into the wet mixture. I'm gonna kind of like combine some of the mixtures together before I start beating it, because I just know it's gonna make a floury mess everywhere. And then we mix again. Now we're gonna need a half a cup of milk. I like to use whole milk. It helps make the cake a little bit fluffier. So we're gonna do 1/2 cup of that. And then the recipe calls for 1/2 cup of pineapple juice, but I'm gonna do a 1/3 cup. Now you're gonna mix in the milk and the pineapple juice as you stir, but I'm gonna add in the milk first. That kind of got everywhere. Oops. It's kind of hard to do alone. It's a little bit easier if you have like a tabletop mixer, but it's doable. And then I'm gonna add in the pineapple juice. And the last ingredient I'm gonna add is a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now that we have the batter done, we're gonna pour it into the pan and be very careful about it. That way we don't move the pineapple slices underneath. All right, so here's what the wet batter is looking like. It's nice and pineapple-y, it smells delicious. And now we're gonna get our pan. Back to answering questions, someone asked, what are my goals this year? Goals, okay. So goals, I definitely want to get more active this year. I feel like I could be in the gym a lot more or at all. That would be nice. I also obviously want to start eating better. I want to start reading more books. I want to start doing my makeup more. Hopefully get more subbies on YouTube because I'll be more active. I just really want to grow everything that's good in my life. I feel like I don't have enough good right now. It's just a little bit depressing. So we're baking the cake. Make sure you get all of it out of the bowl. Another question I got is, what are some things that I wish I would have known before going into college? I wish I would have known that every single grade counts. I honestly missed a lot of opportunities this semester because I still had the high school mentality that I could just like miss a few assignments and have it not be a big deal. But I feel like with college, it's so important to do every single assignment. Literally the smallest things will keep you from having like the grades you want. And it's so frustrating, but I didn't know that or like realize that until second semester of my freshman year. So biggest lesson, do all of your assignments. It doesn't matter if they're worth 1 or 2 points, do them because you're gonna regret not having the points in your grade book at the end of the year, I promise. It's good. All right, so now we're gonna throw it into the oven for about 35 to 40 minutes and we're gonna bake it at 350 degrees. I already preheated my oven and we're just gonna throw it in. I have this little timer that I'm gonna use. It's a little strawberry timer. And you just twist the top to the time that you need. And we're gonna do 36 minutes. And I'll be back when my cake is out of the oven. Okay, the cake has 3 more minutes. Don't mind my AC, it's so loud. But I had it off while I was baking just because it is so loud, but I needed to turn it on because my house was getting hot with the oven. But it looks so delicious. It smells even better. It smells amazing. Oh my gosh, I could die. Once it is out of the oven, it's gonna have to cool for about 30 minutes. That way the brown sugar topping can harden and kind of cool a little bit. So yeah, we just have like 2 more minutes. All right, the cake's out the oven. Here's what it's looking like. As you can see, the edges are starting to crisp up. Ooh. The last time I made this cake, I accidentally put a cup of milk instead of a 1/2 cup and it was a little too moist. So we're gonna see how this turns out. Remember, you're gonna wanna let it cool completely before you take it out the pan. I'm an impatient little girl, so yeah. We're gonna wait 30 minutes. Klaus. Sir. Alrighty, so the cake is finished. It's all done. Here's what the bottom looks like. I'm so excited to put this on a little tray and cut it up for you guys. I'm just gonna put this on a cookie sheet because I don't have any like sort of display for it. We're just gonna put it on here and I'm also gonna put a sheet of parchment paper. Alrighty, here goes nothing. We're just gonna... Oh, why does it always do that? Did you? I'm so sad about how that just happened. It always like just lands on the side. It makes me so angry. I kind of attempted to center it. Here's what the cake is looking like. Looks so delicious. It's It's officially time to cut into the cake. I'm so excited. Go ahead and slice through this pineapple first. It's a little warm still, so ideally you want to like chill this for like a few hours. That way it's not so soft and warm. I'm really impatient and I want to slice it right now. So I'm just gonna have one. We're gonna make this. I guess we'll make this a whole pineapple slice. Cherry is getting buried in there. Pretty sure I just squished that cherry, but it's fine. Oh, perfect. So here's the cake. I think it looks pretty good. We have a slice with the pineapple. It's nice and fluffy. So here's what the cake is looking like. It's kind of hard to like get a perfect pineapple slice because it's not cut. So I'm gonna try and cut the pineapple with it. Delish. Cheers. That's amazing. If you guys decide to try this recipe, definitely let me know. Tag me. It's not my recipe, but it is a really good recipe. And if you guys wind up liking it, then you're welcome. I'll have it linked in the description box. I really don't know how to describe how good this cake is. It's just you need to try it for yourself. That is the end of today's video. I am gonna take my family some cake now, so I don't have a bunch of leftovers. Thanks so much for watching. I kind of forgot to answer questions in this video. I was really honestly focused on baking, but I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.
I miss my taco, but in kisses, hope you smile when you listen. Ain't no competition.